Hello and welcome to Exponential Potential. Today we are covering our brand new topic, which is be bold, be you. And I'm joined by the absolutely fabulous Jennifer Evans, aka ZenJen. And talking of bold, oh my God, I love that colour. I love that colour on you.
Talking about my hair.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, it's about time I had some color in it, and I'm loving it. For those that can't see, it's a chestnut, a ready chestnut, and it's in the light. It's quite reflective. But yes, I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. Love it. Love it.
And
Um,
if you're listening live, it's January.
yes.
Oh,
Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New
mm,
Year. And
yeah.
that's what we're going to be talking about actually today, aren't we?
We are. Throughout this month of January, we are covering Be Bold for You, but actually taking a bit of a different spin on it. We're all about thriving and growth mindset. But that's not just for the new year. It may not work. And then you may set yourself up for failure and lose all your money. So we don't want any of that to happen. We want you to
That's way
thrive.
to uplift the audience, Claire.
Yeah, how to get skin, feel miserable and like a failure
And
or
we're not,
not.
and we're not about that at all. We like to sort of be a bit unconventional, and have approaches that are a lot more gentle, and more powerful and more profound that go deeper than the we were just talking about all the things we get bombarded around Black Friday, and then again New Year, all the sales
Yeah,
that just hit you, and all the that I mean, there is a really good momentum and energy around it about, right, new year, new you. And there's a massive amount of pressure to, for New Year's resolutions, and to step up and to start your new year full force on. And we're not about that, are we, Claire?
no, and we're both coaches and we both
Mm.
help people to develop their leadership and broader skills, their resilient skills, how to deal with overwhelm and so on. But what I'm seeing a lot more of is some of the sales tactics that come into this industry. And in my mind, this may be controversial, but I think that it creates a certain level of dependency. It creates a sense of lack because it's saying, oh, you're rubbish unless you buy my $99 program. And then, by the way, every day I'm going to tell you how rubbish you are so that you buy my $1,000 high ticket program. And you see these patterns very often. So there are, and that's not to discredit the industry and it's not to discredit people. But you have choices. And we want you to know that you have choices.
Yes. And my mailbox is chocker of buy this now. It's a new year, new you. Start your year off with this and start your year off with that. And if you think about it, I mean, we're still in winter. Days are still dark. Yes, they're getting lighter. We've all just gone through Christmas, and for some of us, that was quite stressful, or it could have been quite relaxing. But we've just gone through Christmas. We've been with family, a lot of us. There's a lot of pressure around Christmas.
Yeah.
And then there's this added pressure of the beginning of the new year. So we want to sort of delve into that a little bit more in terms of how to make that work for you and feel into what's right for you and what resonates with you. Because some of you might like that energy and like, right, yes, new year, I'm going to go, go, go for it. And others might prefer, actually, I'd prefer to ease into it. But we were just talking before we went live. Claire, you mentioned about when we are all go, 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 that there's a negative behind that, or there's a sort of a gap that we fall through.
Yeah. And I think it's often a push away from this, away from that, away from this, away from that. And that approach does emphasize again, that sense of lack, that sense of scarcity, and a sense of fear and negativity about that state. Whereas to be pulled towards something, to recognize all, we've recorded many different episodes, many different themes, but gratitude for all of the little markers that are around that help to shift your state are just important as moving away from the negativity. I think kind of we sometimes give that too much space in our lives.
Yes, and I know from me, and I'm sure it's the same for you, when I'm creating something, when I'm creating a new online course or a coaching program or something, I've always felt really uncomfortable with the focusing on, I mean, a lot of marketers will say focus on the problem. I prefer to focus on the solution. Yes, there is a problem, or there might not even be, what's the outcome? What are you going to gain from this? As opposed to, oh my God, you're this, and this, and this. And yes, that's helpful to identify and to relate to your audience. But I think I prefer to focus on it being more positive. For example, I'm going to be launching an online course soon, and you'll hear more about that. But that, it talks about how to gain more balance and harmony and joy in your life. And yes, you may be coming from a place of overwhelm and feeling frazzled, but the emphasis is on that harmony, balance, and joy.
Yeah, and when we've again in different episodes we've talked about embodiment and emotion and summoning some of those, and I think just the title that you're describing there in terms of joy and balance, yeah, I'd like more of that. Give me
Yeah.
more of that. I know how that feels. I want some more of that. Whereas if we talk about conflict or kind of not having any money, again, you focus on that, and it goes round and round in circles. I think the other thing for me is that very often, a lot of programs are almost akin to an oxygen tank. So, you breathe deeply, you feel relaxed, you feel confident, but then, you maybe work within a toxic environment or have, a relationship that's a bit stale, and you take off that oxygen mask and you're still in that environment. So you go up and down and up and down. Whereas, actually, what can we do that helps us to face that environment and to communicate and to help that develop and grow? What can we do around our own boundaries and our own resilience that will help us to adapt to that over time? Not so much of this stop, start, all, nothing, black, white, because life kind of isn't like that, hey?
No, it's not. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people probably think, right, new year, I'm going to get a new job, I'm jumping ship, I've had enough.
Yeah.
And I think a gentler way to look at new year and new beginnings. One, you don't have to start afresh in new year. You can start afresh any day. In fact, every day is a fresh start. And the other part of that is we can, so what we were saying about the title, be bold, be you, be bold, because I think a really lovely way of going about it is it's a sense of a way of being, how you be in your life, how you be with others, instead of, yes, having goals and things, but I think to start with you and a new way of being and being more aware of what triggers you, what situations you feel uncomfortable for you, but what can you actually do about it in terms of the way you are. And as Claire said, about embodying who you are, removing some of those protective layers and coming from a place of compassion, grace, kindness, and love.
And I know this is going to sound really trite now, but be the change you want to see. you and I both know, in terms of the laws of attraction, for example, if you be compassionate, if you show love and happiness, it comes back to you. It kind of creates a really loving ripple effect, over time, that builds. So you have far more control over your state, and you can start to realize true change.
Yes. And I think, you're coming from a place of love and compassion and kindness, then others around you will feed off that energy. It may repel some people because they're really not anywhere close to that vibration, and that's okay, because you actually don't want those sort of people in your circle. You want to emanate that calm, or that whatever energy that's going on. It might be excitement, it might be wanting to inspire a team, for example. But in relationships, certainly one of the things that I have conversations with clients that they want to meet an ideal partner. Well, you have to be that person. If you expect certain, or they're in a relationship and they want their partner to be more respectful, more understanding, more expressive, express how they feel. That's a big one for us ladies, I'm sure, wanting their partners to talk about their feelings and emotions. But a lot of the time you're not necessarily open to doing that, or you're not doing it. You have maybe not realizing you're not doing it. But if you want your partner to be more open, then you need to be more open. You need to be more expressive and create a trusting environment so they feel safe to do that. So yes, I think it's actually quite a powerful statement when you look at that. Be the change you want to see, because it's so true.
And yeah, I want to connect back to one of the statements you made at the top of the episode, which was around, actually, in nature, this is a time of winter. This is a time of rest, regeneration, rejuvenation, kind of starting to restore before spring arrives and it kind of announces itself. So, yeah, taking the time now, rather than jumping ship from your job, or calling in the divorce lawyer, take some time now to actually start to build up your own reserves, to start to show different behaviors and try these things on before that explosive action, and actually it feels like it will take you further.
Yeah, yes, yeah, absolutely, rather than rushing in. In the episode that we recorded around the winter solstice with Christine Powers, it was incredible and profound, and she talked following about the rhythms of nature, and she said something that she uses this time of year through the winter to weave her dreams. Sort of, it's a dream weaving time. So it's not necessarily even a planning time. It's just that reflection and restoration to allow things to gently come to you.
Yeah.
And that feels for me, and it might not feel for everybody, but that so resonates for me, that, oh yeah, that's so juicy. And here I am launching a program at the end of January, but that's we're coming into February. But what was interesting through this process, so I'm doing an online coaching program and a training program with how to create. I want to really create a very engaging experiential product. So I want this to be really juicy and beneficial for clients. So I'm investing a lot of money into this. What I didn't realize was the time and the intensity of it. And I hadn't been taking space for myself. So I was so much in my head, which is what I'm teaching about, getting out of your head and creating balance. So it was a big reminder and a big 2x4 slap around my head. So it's just It's so important to give yourself that space to allow for things to come to you, to allow ideas to just gently come to you without the pressure and the force.
Yep. Well, for me, I mean, looking ahead into 2024, for a long time now, a book has been in the offing, and I've published resource books and those aspects, but kind of much more in-depth book that examines aspects of leadership and businesses and strategy and all of those aspects. And it's not about sitting down on January the 1st and writing until it's there. Actually, this has been a declaration between me and the universe for a little while. And I've looked back, and over the last year, that creative procrastination has given me all of the titles, it's given me all of the concepts, it's kind of just created the flow so that when I sit down to write, it will be there because it's been developing, it's been growing, it's been added to. It's like the most amazing stew.
I can't wait. I can't wait. And interesting that you use the word procrastination, because sometimes procrastination isn't about the fear of doing it. Procrastination is also about, or the resistance to it, it's also about it's not ready yet.
Yeah.
It needs time to develop. And
so yeah, so say kind of you write your book, you leave your job, get a new job, you divorce your man, you find a new man, all in January. What are you going to do for the rest of the year? It's just you're exhausted. So it's like there's nothing wrong with setting these declarations. Nothing wrong at all. And actually realize that they take some time to develop and to grow, and you move towards them. It doesn't have to be instant.
Yeah, life is not a race, people.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're in a race, there's no one to beat. There's not a finish line because life just continues. So why not make the most of it and treat it like a wander through a beautiful garden, or a hillside, and take notice of your surroundings and absorb them. One of the things I wanted to touch on as well is around New Year's resolution, that whole pressure around New Year's resolution. And that's about, oh my God, New Year, right, what are my resolutions for this year? It's like, take a breath, take a beat, enjoy that garden, smell the roses, although there's not usually roses in January, but you know what I mean, smell the trees and the mulch and that lovely winter air, and take your time and really delve deep as to what it is you want to create for the year. And when you have a powerful, giving up smoking or drinking less or losing weight or getting fitter are usually the top resolutions. But if you want that to work, you need to be in the right headspace and come from a place of inspiration, as opposed to, I hate my body.
Yeah.
Instead of, I love what my body does for me, but I want to treat it better.
Yeah.
And have a really powerful why. Why are you doing this? What are you going to gain from it? Because when you're just sort of slapping on a New Year's resolution, I want to give up smoking, but why? You delve really deep into the why. And when you have your powerful why and you really commit to it, it happens. I committed to my health in September. Well, I've been committing to my health for a while, but September I made a very powerful decision of, right, I want my body to be fitter and healthier. And I went deep into the whys, and my why is so powerful. And part of that is because I want to be a role model for other women. And I want to be fit and healthy enough to be able to hold retreats with a group of women and have the energy and health, fitness levels that I would need to run that. And I want to be healthy. I want to treat my body, as we said in another episode, I want to treat my body as a temple and treat my body with respect and love.
Mm.
And because of that, I have lost since September the 10th, I've lost 12 kilos, which is just about 28 pounds. That's in English money. That's 2 stone since September the
incredible.
But the power of your why, and yeah, I know. So it wasn't a New Year's resolution. It was I delved deep into it. So if you want to make change, what comes first is the way you be, your way of being.
Yeah, and that's not doing. It's
No.
not doing, it's being. And the last few years I've adopted a word for the year. I still haven't worked it out. But again, in the past it's been be fabulous or be confident. And what I love about some of those states is that you can express them in so many different ways. It's not just about doing one thing. It's expressing it in my language or the clothes I wear or the exchanges that I have with other people or my home or kind of this. There's so many different ways that state can manifest, and as it does, it just ripples throughout the year. So there's that variety, but also by choosing a word, you can summon it really quickly. So if you're squashed in the tube, you're feeling stressed and rushed, you're trying to get somewhere else. Right. How do I be fabulous here? Flick hair back, make a bit of space, smile. That'll create a big space on the tube around you because everyone will be like, "Oh my
Oh,
goodness, she's
crazy
smiling
lady.
on the tube." but it's just like you have the power to create instant change. It may be small, but it's an instant change that you have the power to put in place. Okay?
I love that. That's so simple. And again, it's reminding yourself, isn't it, of that and coming back to it. And like you say, just so simple and quick. And then, that's all related to a way of being and embodying that way of being in everything you do and following. And then that's then where the inspired actions come from. Following it up with those actions. I love that. That's really powerful.
So ditch resolutions, don't get skint. don't spend lots of money on the hustlers. Spend a little bit of time choosing who you want to be and what you want to pursue, and then look for great people like Jen that can provide the tools and the support, because that's what you really want, not what you're told that you want.
And yourself, Claire, as well. Way of being and as a leader and changing, coming up with new ways of leading that's coming from that place of compassion and creating those environments that create joyful teams and productive and effective teams that actually love their jobs and want to stay and not jump ship.
It's taken me many, 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 many years. You can obviously tell that we're candid and honest about failure and creating space for tremendous growth. And so this sense of authenticity has been around me for some time, but actually it's not until you delve quite deeply that you realize that many leaders declare that they're authentic, but they haven't really got a clue who they are in order to be that authentic person. So you have to just kind of strip that back and be honest with yourself, because if you're authentic and yet living the life that you're told to live, through generations or through culture, then you're not really authentic.
Mm-hmm.
You're authentic to that role, not to you. And the real power comes through when you discover who you are, who you really are,
Mm-hmm.
and show up as that person. That's real authenticity.
Yeah, being bold and being you. And I think a lot of people need help with that. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of my clients feel lost. And I've lost myself. I don't know who I am. I want my sparkle back. I want to shine again. So yeah, I think using this time of year to really delve deep into how you want to be for the year, who you want to be, who are you?
Yeah. And if you need some
Yeah.
tools to examine that further, I mean, do listen to previous episodes. But actually, if you jump on over to the podcast on YouTube, we've well, Jen's done all the work actually. Jen's created some amazing playlists which focus on the topics of relationship and spirituality and careers. And so when you've decided where you want to go and you want to just dip your toe in, we've created those resources for you to explore, to see if that is, to try it on, see if that's an area that you want to develop and grow in even more.
Yeah. And if you want to speak to either of us, you know, whether that's around leadership, both personal life and in the work life, or you want help with creating more balance and joy and harmony, confidence, reach out to me as well. Happy to have conversations with you and see what it is you need exactly, and see if we are able to help you further.
So this feels like the softest of launches of the year, the softest of launches of this month's topic, which is be bold, be you, but be. It's a really intentional word in the topic for this month. Um, so I wish you very well. And if there's somebody else who needs a kick up but behind, see what I did there? If you know a friend who needs kick up behind, then get them to listen to this episode and subscribe and share.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Jen, it's been fabulous to spend time with you today.
Yes, you too, Claire. And I am really looking forward to 2024 and all the goodies that we're going to bring our listeners.
So from us, thank you. Much love, and we'll see you again really soon. Bye bye.